Silksong's Bilewater is a location that makes me think Team Cherry looked at some of From Software's worst swamps of the last 15 years and said, yeah, let's make one of those. Whether you just got here, or you've been stuck bashing your head against the wall in this place, we've got tips to help you know when you should tackle this putrid area, how to find Shakra for the map, how to find a hidden bench, and more. Here's how to make your time in Bilewater less awful. You can reach Bilewater as soon as you earn the Cling Grip ability in Shellwood. You get here by using this new ability to reach the upper levels of Greymoor, and then by heading east towards Sinner's Road. In the northeastern room of Sinner's Road is the entrance to Bilewater. In this long room with the dangling cages, drop on the right side of this crate, past the mouse, and then break the wall by this glowing shard bundle on the ground. You made it, hooray! Bad news though, if you get here just after getting the Cling Grip, you actually can't complete this area yet. You can't even buy the map. You can find the Bilewater Bellway entrance though, which will be useful for getting back here once you've got more abilities. Here's how to find it. If you haven't unlocked it yet, drop down from the Bilewater entrance in Sinner's Road and find the bench through the door leading out the bottom right of this room. This is the closest bench to use for this area. From the Sinner's Road Bilewater entrance, you want to proceed right until you reach a tall room. Watch out for these beast shard tripwires. They usually trigger spiky balls to swing in from in front or behind of you. Also, beware the green bulbous bugs. They'll explode once they've been defeated, and in true Silksong fashion, the explosion deals 2 damage. The next room features pieces of flooring that disappear into the disgusting water, which constantly eats away at your silk if you fall into it, and makes it so much more difficult to heal while you're trying to make your way through. So, try not to linger on the floor too long. Start travelling up in this room with the floating rock above the water, and travel all the way to the top before exiting to the left. You'll now need to contend with these ambush hunters who jump out at you. They're quite hard to kill before they go back into hiding, so my advice is to focus on dodging their attacks until they disappear again without worrying about attacking them. Continue travelling left through this and the next room. At the far left side of the lake at the end of this room, you'll notice one of Shakra's rings above you. Remember this spot for later, and continue travelling left, using these floating bubbles as objects to bounce off. Once through to the vertical room, you want to drop down to the very bottom. Now that you're on the ground by this carriage, head to the right where you can unlock a bench for 90 rosaries and the Bellway station for 120. From here you can go back out the way you came, fast travel out through the Bellway, or go left into the area known as the Mist, which we have a separate guide video for if you need help solving its puzzles. The area that I showed you with Shakra's ring is where you'll find the rest of Bilewater, and unfortunately you won't be able to reach the upper zone here until you have an item called the Fade Down Cloak. This is unlocked much further in the game after the Cling Grip, so don't worry about Bilewater again until you've unlocked that item. The rest of this video will detail what to do once you've retrieved that item, so if you don't want to be spoiled for some later game abilities, pause the video now and come back once you've progressed a bit more. Okay, now that you have the Fade Down Cloak and everything that came before it, we can make the jump upwards and start climbing Bilewater. First, let's find the map. From the vertical gap marked by Shakra's ring from before, use your new double jump to ascend and wall jump up and over the spikes. Then, look down to see the floating orbs and jump attack off of them to reach the other side and wall jump up. Now, simply jump over to the right and enter the next room to find Shakra. From here, you'd think it would be business as usual, but Bilewater is a particularly punishing area, and it only gets more challenging in this upper zone. For starters, you have these acid-spitting flies that, surprise surprise, deal double damage that you need to take cover from while you climb. Something that makes this easier is the Ascendant's Grip tool, which you can buy from Jubilana the Merchant in Songclave after completing the Wandering Merchant wish from the wishboard. This tool lets you stick to walls while climbing without sliding down, which helps a lot with staying safe behind cover in this area. Another helpful tool for this area is the Wreath of Purity, which protects you from the parasite water. But unfortunately, this tool is so far out of the way, it would require an entire second video to show you how to get there. So just know, if you are struggling with the water in this area and you want a bit more help, you can go and get the Wreath of Purity right now. It just is going to take a fair bit of time. Now, another thing that makes this area challenging is the lack of benches. But there is a hidden one located further up in the depths of Bilewater that we're going to show you how to get to. From Shakra's room, follow this path as shown on the map. If you're short on health or silk, you can enter and exit this room repeatedly and take out these little floating guys if you need some more silk charges. Now wall jump and claw line up this tall space and then head out the room to the left once you reach the top. Ignore this bench sign, it only leads to a nasty trap. Through this door is another zone where you can farm these little bugs for silk. As you climb up, you may need to use the spitters as claw line targets every now and then, but try to hit them high up so you don't get launched into their bodies. That's the spitter climbs done, but we're not finished yet. Feel free to enter and exit this room to reset this walking bug and get some silk back, but watch out for the hunters jumping out of the water. From here, you need to go generally to the right. Wall jump up at this wall here, watch out for this bug, and claw line across the spikes from a high vantage point to make the distance. Keep going right to the next room, and avoid the Bilewater and other ambushes. When you drop down, there are 3 traps. The first strikes from above, the second is a low-flying dart shot that you can jump over, and the third are some sideways spikes that you can avoid by climbing quickly. From here, you can actually jump in the water now, as we need to go right underneath these wall jumps and down the channel. At the bottom of this drop is a destructible wall on your right. Break it and then drop down the next channel. Get to the very bottom of the room, then move to your left. Finally, jump up to the top of this passage, break any destructible walls in your way, and then drop down to find your well-earned bench. You can make the path back in this room a bit easier by breaking this destructible wall beside it on the left. You made it! Good work. Not only does this mean that you can avoid some of that terrible climb in the future, but you've also got yourself a decent checkpoint for the boss fight at the top of the zone. The last thing we'll show you in this video is how to get to this fight from your new bench without touching the gross water, and while generating some silk along the way so you're ready to fight. From your new bench, retrace your steps from the upper right of the room, and be careful not to touch the water on your way out. Once you reach the top of this channel, the trick to avoiding this nearby pool is to use the claw line from where you're standing and then immediately double jump up to this next vertical channel before climbing all the way up. Jump out to these platforms, wall jump up, and then either go over the water or up and over through the trap to make it through the door on the right. Drop straight down, then jump carefully across the water before wall jumping on the right. Use your claw line, double jump, and float to make it to this small wooden ledge on the left. This is a good spot to take out any pesky flies that are following you and to get a nearby reset point in case you hit the spikes. From here, bounce off the bubbles in front of you and up and over the spikes on the left to get to the next doorway. In this next room, jump up quickly to avoid the spike traps and attack this bug to get some easy silk. Watch out for the trap here, you might set it off with the explosion from the bug. Keep moving left over to this lower platform, and through here you'll find some free silk. Now drop down the hole on your right, land carefully below, and travel all the way to the left. You can sprint through here pretty easily, but you may get jumped by an ambush at the perfect/worst moment, so taking this slow could also be prudent. Once in this next room, you're almost at the fight, but if you wall jump up this wall here and travel to the left, you'll find a decent chunk of free silk for you to use, to heal, or to take into the next fight. Now, all that's left to do is to take out a bunch more gross Bilewater dwellers and their leader. For help with this boss fight, check out our walkthrough and accompanying video guide on our wiki, where you can also find tips, tricks, and an interactive map. And for all other things Hollow Knight Silksong, stick with IGN.